Well, hey man, it's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you bet. So before we get into your life as a fractional chief financial officer, I want to know 4.5 years ago or so, we were dealing with this pandemic and it rearranged a lot of things for all of us. How much of living through that time period and dealing with it has affected your business and what you're doing today?
Yeah, it affects me a lot because I was working on my hedge fund and it wasn't working out. It was like I couldn't scale it, and then just serendipitously I found one kind of like client, just friend of mine from New York, asking to help his dad with fundraising. And I just started working on the financial materials on the pitch deck, and they told me like it's the best financial model that I will see in my life. But I've seen them a lot, like more than 1,000 financial models in my life, and it was like the worst financial model. So I said like, okay, you need to change it. Like, don't send it to any investors. It's embarrassing. They shouldn't see it. And yeah, and I just started working on this. At that time, it didn't call a fractional CFO. Just like I know financial consulting, helping with fundraising, and I just start doing these things, yeah, and then it scaled from this.
So if I put you in front of a bunch of grade school kids today, they wanted to get to the heart of what you do for a living, and it's
hmm
career day, and one of the kids in the back of the room, let's say they're 10 or 11 years old, is like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer them?
hmm I help business owners to optimize their financials and reach their goals, whatever this goal, through the lens of financials, through the lens of the numbers of their business.
So what did you want to be when you were a kid? What was your dream?
Yeah, my dream was like I want to run my own business, and I kind of figure out very early when I was 15 years old that I want to be at some point entrepreneur. But I say like, okay, it's probably I need to learn first, and I decided, okay, I will go to the bank in lending department, working with business owners because I will see their business, and I also like good in numbers and like I like banks, so I kind of like it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And it's actually what's happened. So my first job was in the lending department. I was working with really small businesses.
So take me back to where you were born and raised. What were these foundational seeds of getting into business and getting into numbers? How did that happen?
Yeah, so it's happened like I was very kind of young, and like I really like soccer, and then like I don't know, I started watching like Bloomberg, and I just like okay, fascinated with these all these businesses and numbers, and then I remember one of my schoolmates brought like a magazine, a business magazine, uh, and he was just reading. I said, okay, can I borrow it? And I start reading, and okay, there's a business, there's a huge world of business, and I say, okay, it's like it's fascinating, and it's about numbers. So like I know I was good with numbers, so yeah, it was really interesting.
So who was in the magazine or who in those early days was kind of a figure that you looked up to, someone in finance and business that you aspired to be like?
Yeah, I really like for example, I like Campert. It's like the founder of IKEA. I think like for example in the United States it's not so well known figure,
Yeah.
uh, but it's like it's unbelievable what he's done. He's like he grew up in a really small city in Sweden, like and he like I know like in Sweden is not like the largest economy, and he built like this completely innovative store, and it's like it's unbelievable. He made it just like I don't know, almost like he didn't use any external financing. Like there was no like a VC or private equity right back then, and he just scaled it to the large company. I think it's like it's unbelievable. I know like there's so many stories in the United States also kind of like unbelievable, but the soil here is so productive. It's just and getting funding and money. And I was fascinated what he's done. It's unbelievable.
So in your life, who's been kind of an inspiration or a hero for you?
Yeah, yeah. I think like those stories are really inspiring, and like I know my former boss at one of the corporate lending departments was really inspiration for me. It's he really kind of like helped me to understand financials, like how I should approach them. He was like a really like a first good teacher, but he was so demanding, and it's just like it was, yeah. It's sometimes it was really hard to work, but I think it's set up a really good working culture. So I see like people, I'm 41, and people like in my age like can really sustain like like working long hours. Like I still I can do this. Yeah, I like it.
So what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Best advice what I have gotten. I think just keep doing what you're doing. It's just it's gonna be harsh, but you need to keep doing it.
So to be good and to advance in your business career, you have to take risks. It always involves risk. What's the biggest risk that you've taken in your career?
Yeah, it's very easy. Like when I decided just like move from Russia to New York to set up my hedge fund, leave my high paid salary, and I never been on this entrepreneur journey. I never kind of done it, and I decided, okay, I'm not just leaving my full time job. I'm moving from one country to another, and it was definitely a risk. Like, and I think like a lot of people cannot do this, even like thinking about it's just like. I kind of like, yeah, I've done it because I knew what I want to accomplish.
So what gets you up every day? What motivates you to do the best that you can do for yourself, for your clients, and to evolve as a human being yourself? What is that every day for you?
Yeah, for me, it's building a sustainable, competitive business. It's like I really want like to build. It's not like I know in terms of revenue numbers, it can be I don't know 10 million of revenue business. It's be 100. It's like I think it's way more important. I want to build a sustainable, competitive business where we have like a certain advantages over competitors.
So, the thing with money is every day it's incremental and it adds up. But for you, how do you quantify a successful good day of business?
Yeah, when it's very easy when you working what you want to work, at least like I don't know, 75%, 80%, I think it's not impossible completely eliminate this, but yeah, when you do what you really want to do, and then it turns from job or work to what you really enjoy doing.
So let's say you have a dream tonight. You run into that version of you before you come to America. And you could give that earlier version of you a piece of advice based on this life you've lived, the wisdom you've gained so far. What advice would you give that young version of you?
Yeah, don't start a hedge fund. Don't start a hedge fund. Start with consulting. Consulting is great. It's what I learned. It's kind of like I know I was thinking like about some kind of investment business or like I don't know startup ideas. Start. I think actually I think it's a great thing if you want to start entrepreneurship. Start with the consulting. It's just like the margins are there. You don't need any external capital. You can do it alone. It's just, I mean, alone, like you don't need to find founders, you don't need to find, I don't know, CTOs that will build something, you will depend on them. It's all up to you. It's like there's nobody to blame. It's just like it's you. You can start doing consulting, and it's like and there's so many opportunities. And yeah, I think it's what I tell. Yeah, because I think I spent like I know it was a good lesson, but yeah, it would be easy if I knew it's just such a hard market.
So, we're entering this new era, this new administration. There's a lot of things that are going on. But from a business financial standpoint, are you optimistic as to where we're going? What's your forecast as we kind of move through this new year?
It's gonna be very, very volatile. I kind of, in terms of my business, I'm kind of optimistic. I don't think it affects. I think like when you're small, like the micro environment, it has a little effect on you. Yeah, it's like I know if you tie it to this cycle markets like I know home ownership, like I know home sales, yeah, you probably can be affected, but other markets is just not so affected. So I think if you're small, you still kind of it's more about marketing. It's all about like going out and find the right clients. Yeah, I think in general, like let's see, there's so many moving parts, and I think it's going to be in general, in terms of economics, in terms of politics, it's going to be like the next 4 years is going to be very volatile.
So, of everything that you've done and accomplished and evolved into, from coming from one country to another and building your business, what are you ultimately the proudest of?
I'm really proud that we built like this mezzanine financing fund that I working in back time in Russia. It was like really innovative at the time, and we've done like a number of deals, and it was really really good. And I'm really proud. And it was like I was very young at the time, but like we managed to do this. So I'm really really proud, and I'm just like think proud that I kind of living the life what I want. At some point, I wanted to move like to United States, and it wasn't the easy part. It's like even like from the visa perspective, or like I don't know, set up everything. It was just like yeah, it wasn't easiest, but yeah, I kind of managed to go through this.
So what's your forecast for, let's say, in 10 years from now? Let's say we talk in 10 years. Where do you want to be? What's kind of your evolution and growth from here?
Yeah, I definitely want to build a large consulting practice, probably like providing not only a fractional CFO, because at some point it's like you need to start providing like other services to a client. So I see it's kind of like a multi-services the focus on financial consulting company, and probably also see that I will launch a few like digital products also in this area that help clients, especially right now with AI. I think it's like the entire tech stack will change. The way we're doing financials right now at small level in a large corporation, it will change completely. So it's gonna be agents, AIs, and yeah, it's just gonna be completely different. So I really want to like take part in this evolution.
So, Stan, at the end of the day, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Uh, I'm a financial professional that really care about the clients and the quality I deliver, and I want to grow as a professional. Yeah.
Right on. So, if anybody out there is curious, they have questions, they want to reach out, any of the good business, where's the best place to go?
Yeah, it's LinkedIn, Stan Sukhinin, Sukhinin, and Twitter, Stan 3S. Yeah, so I write daily on LinkedIn and Twitter.
Okay, excellent. Stan, thank you, sir. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your time. Best of luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Joe.
I appreciate it.